Hello, Carl.
Hello, Gino.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
How's your summer?
Excellent.
What are you doing these days?
Well, I'm unemployed and just enjoying every day and relaxing and taking it easy and enjoying Nantucket in the summertime.
You're okay with being unemployed?
I'm okay with being unemployed for now. Yeah.
Carl, I always love talking to you because you always give us updates about the wind turbines. How would you describe your knowledge of wind turbines?
Well, my hobby is being a wind energy advocate. That's my hobby, and I've been working on advocacy for wind turbines for the last 12 plus years. So it's a very living kind of hobby, living kind of personal project. And I've learned a lot, and I continue to learn a lot through the internet, through talking to people that I know in the business, and through reading magazines and books, and it's been very, very rewarding and very challenging. What has changed then? I mean, you're saying that things are changing all the time with it. Well, one thing that's changed is there's very loud minorities of people who are getting a lot of press in community wind situations like Falmouth and Fairhaven and Kingston, where turbines have been built on land. That's one thing that's changing. A lot of people are getting a lot of press, and it's basically loud minorities. There are a lot of wind projects in Massachusetts that are very successful, like Hull and Princeton. What do you mean by what's happening? Well, there's just not as much acrimony and controversy. I mean, Wind 1 and Wind 2 in Falmouth have seemed to have gleaned all the press in the last couple of years. But does that mean that they're being built faster without controversy? No, the situation in Falmouth has gotten most of the press, but they went through 7 town meetings there to approve those 2 turbines. And they are stall-regulated turbines as opposed to pitch-regulated turbines, so they're a little bit noisier than pitch-regulated turbines. They're older. So a lot of the neighbors have gotten very upset, and they claim to have health problems and serious problems. But my argument is, hey, if you have all these health problems and serious problems, why are you driving all the way around New England complaining about wind turbines? I mean, they attend meetings, they stand in the back of the room for hours. I've seen them do it. If you're having health problems, how are you able to do that? Okay. So, but you know, in Hull and Buzzards Bay at Mass Maritime, there are operational turbines for years, and I've been to Hull, and I've been to Buzzards Bay, I've been to Kingston, I've been to Falmouth. I've been to Falmouth 6 times, and I just really can't hear what the problem is. And like I say, in Hull, they have turbines that are close to residences, and they have no problem. Oh, I've talked to the people in Hull many times. They come here with their kids, and we play them at sports. Right. So they're here all the time, especially in the fall and winter, and they're building more. Yeah. They love but they set it up so that, doesn't the town own the electric? Hull has a municipal light plant, so they have their own municipal. They love it because their bills are low. Yeah. And it's also interesting to point out that well, there's 2 important things to point out. And take Fairhaven for example. Fairhaven has leased the property to a developer for the turbines, and Falmouth owns the 2 turbines. The town owns the 2 turbines. Fairhaven, the town leased the property to a developer who owns the turbines. But in Fairhaven, it's really important to point out that there's also Friends of Fairhaven Wind that's just cropped up the last couple months. And they have 200 or 300 people who are in favor of the turbines there. And they people who live within 1,000 feet of the turbines who are in favor of them. Okay, yeah. And the Falmouth people don't want you to know that. They don't want you to see press about Friends of Fairhaven Wind turbines. So it's a controversy, and it seems to be polarized like everything else in this country, whether it's local or federal. We're also polarized now. I don't see how anything can get done, but... Why do you say that? Well, I mean, it's just that these issues come up, and then there's people who are for it and against it, and there doesn't seem to be any compromise and common ground anymore. It's frustrating. Look at the Congress in Washington. they're all just pointing fingers at each other and screaming at each other. It's like, you're not doing the work of the country here.
So do you ever see Nantucket getting any more wind turbines in the next
I could
5
see
years?
it happening. We made a lot of progress this past year at town meeting. We almost had a majority to approve a small turbine at the landfill. We came up short about 20 votes, and that was an incredibly positive turnaround from the year before.
That's true.
And I think that's encouraging. I just don't know who's going to do the work to get this thing done. I don't know, because the Energy Study Committee is disbanded, as you know. And, but I think
why did they disband?
Well, I think it was so political because it was tearing up the whole community. You know, they were accused of advocating for the project, and that was a 900 kilowatt. That was a big machine. I mean, that was a 350-foot machine. The one this year is only like the one at the high school, and that's 150 feet. So it was a lot different.
Yeah.
But you know, it's just, you get the facts about wind power, and you get the facts out there, and it starts to soften the knee-jerk reactions that people have. You know,
right.
Take a look.
Well, the technology is constantly changing as well.
Yeah, and
the turbine development is constantly changing.
And you know, the Northern Power 100 at the high school is a tough little machine. It's obviously proven itself. And if you look at Northern Power on the internet, they have some of the most rugged machines in the world.
Yeah. And
that machine at the high school is direct drive. It does not have a gearbox. It has two moving parts, the generator and the rotor. And I walked by it yesterday on First Way. It's very quiet. It sounds at most like a quiet dishwasher or a quiet washing machine.
90% of the time. Yeah. I rarely see it.
I think it runs about 95% of the time, and then they do preventive maintenance on it.
Yep.
So
what about Cape Wind? Where is that?
Cape Wind is moving along quite well. They expect to put a shovel in the ground by December 31st, and two things that have happened recently that are very encouraging are Pension Denmark has invested $200 million in the project. They are a pension fund in Denmark, and they're on board.
What?
So they're going to invest $200 million. And
why would they do? Do you have any idea what's going on?
Pension Denmark has investments in U.S. wind farms onshore in Texas and the Midwest. Mm-hmm. They also have investments in wind power offshore in Europe, in Belgium and Sweden. So they're investing in wind power. That's what they do. They're investing.
A pension?
It's a pension fund, yeah. So they see that they can make money by investing in Cape Wind. And Cape Wind is working with a bank out of Japan, Bank of Tokyo, Mitsubishi, on debt financing. And Siemens AG may contribute another $100 million towards the project. They're supplying the turbines. And also they announced a week or two ago that they are going to hire Lawrence Lynch Corporation out of Falmouth to do the upland construction work, which means installing the cable facilities from Lewis Bay all the way up to the substation in Barnstable. That's a $15 million contract for Lawrence Lynch Corp. Nice. And Lawrence Lynch actually was over here several years ago doing some upland work on our cables.
Right.
So they know what they're doing with that. And that's a local Falmouth company, and it's creating jobs. And it's very frustrating that Audra Parker and the Alliance continue to hammer away and say, oh, this is deceptive and it's misleading and it's not going to create local jobs. Well, the opposite is true. It's creating local jobs because Lawrence Lynch Company has 100 employees and they're based in Falmouth. So they're creating local jobs.
Right. Are they still an issue? Is that still an issue, the opponents to this?
Yeah, they're still an issue, but they're just, in my opinion, they're getting desperate because they know things are moving forward. They know that they're running out of time and they're running out of options. So, and there's 4 lawsuits that are bundled into one, federal lawsuits. But the story with the lawsuits is if you're going to sue the Department of the Interior, good luck, because they cross their T's and dot their I's when they approve something.
Right.
The U.S. government gets sued every day, so good luck with that.
Okay.
You know?
That's really where they're at. Then.
That's the only thing they have really left. The opposition is lawsuits, and I think the lawsuits will be settled within the next couple months, and they're going to lose. That's what I think. So.
Well, anything else, Carl? Any other positive?
Well, I would encourage people on Nantucket to to get together and look into solar and wind. I mean, we have the wind resource here that's the best in the Northeast. I mean, we have it was measured on the old cable TV tower, and it's you know, it's 16 to 21 feet per second, which is unmatched anywhere. You know, so if we put a couple turbines at the landfill, it would be perfect, because that's just an industrial zone. We've already been through this for 7 years, and hopefully someone will take the ball and run with it, because I don't know if it'll be the selectmen or some individuals will come forward and work on this. I don't know if it'll be me, but well, you know, and solar too. It was disappointing to see the airport reject solar at town meeting, because solar is very promising in airports and the wastewater treatment facility, and it's low to the ground. It doesn't have the visuals that people seem to be so upset about, the aesthetics. Just put an array on the ground and generate power, you know. And we got a lot of solar here too. We're southern exposure. We're southern New England. Yep. So I would encourage people to
and wind year round.
Yeah, I mean, I think the town is interested. I think the town has the energy office. They have the energy coordinator. They have the energy consultants that they use. And I would encourage the town to keep going on this. I mean, you know, maybe we could avoid a third cable, and we have to pay for the cables. You know, and it would be nice to lower our carbon footprint. So.
All right. Well, we appreciate you being there, Carl. Thanks for your input.
I soldier on, so I can spend the rest of my life advocating for clean energy, and I don't mind, you know.